Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Appreciate you guys so much for coming through. And yeah, so a lot of craziness going on today, but hey, Antonio Brown, he's been booted from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers camp after a brawl. Basically, he ripped a player's helmet off, and as you can see in the photo here, in which we'll take a second a little bit later on to just look at some of the photos here. But yeah, he clearly got a punch in on that guy's face there. So yeah, he's clearly not making a lot of friends here. And I'll go through the article real quick. But Antonio Brown, it says it's not making friends with the Buccaneers joint practice with the Tennessee Titans on Thursday, throwing punches and ripping a Titans player helmet off in a wild brawl. And they say this is what went down. The 33-year-old Super Bowl champ was going up against the second-year cornerback Chris Jackson during some one-on-one drills. When things got out of hand quick, no word on what exactly, sparked the altercation, but it had to have been something serious. You'd have to assume. And then they say you can check out some of the pics. AB is seen connected on a wild punch that, lands on Jackson's jaw before grabbing at his helmet and tearing it off CJ's noggin. AB was immediately ejected from the practice, but it doesn't seem like it was a big deal to Coach Bruce Arians, who joked he thought his receiver was just swatting at flies. That's Bruce Arians for you. But here's what he went on to say as far as the quote right there. Not going to go through the video there, but he says that he didn't see any fighting, just a lot of pushing and shoving at the camp versus the Titans. He says Antonio Brown was just swatting flies. There you have it. Antonio Brown just swatting flies. Bruce Arians, that is what he says. He says, of course, it says, of course, AB has been trying to keep out of trouble after a controversial past few years. Buccaneers did let him know you're on a small rope with it when it comes to them. The only reason why he's even there is because Tom Brady vouched for him in the first place. Bruce Arians did not want him there. But Bruce doesn't seem too bothered about this because obviously Bruce likes competition. He wants his guys going hard. So I think he'll overlook something like this in minicamp because he understands the situation, but he's still on thin ice, and that's why there was not a big market for Antonio Brown, considering the player that he used to be and stuff. But yeah, so just to take a couple shots here in terms of some of the photos here. As you can see right there, you've got them locked up. And here you can see Antonio Brown with his hand on the helmet right there. There's some bunch of Titan players around him, but yet he still, seems to be not really contained there. Okay, now we've got a close-up here where this guy, he's not able to get Antonio Brown's helmet off. If Brown's already got his helmet off, he's in the motion of swinging here. And yes, for those of you that don't like my play-by-play, it's just happening. And let's see. And there we have the connect right there. He finished, followed through with that. There you go. So, yeah, you can see that he clearly connected on that one. That face does not lie. You can see some Buccaneer fans, Buccaneer coach here trying to hold him back. Everybody's just standing around. They say a massive brawl. But I certainly want to see the video for this as well. But from what we have right now, this is what, we have out there. So there you go. Antonio Brown, things getting heated. And of course, they're getting heated. We're talking about two teams right now in the Buccaneers and the Titans that have very high expectations. I mean, heck, given the right scenario, these two teams very well have the possibility of facing each other in the Super Bowl. And so the only thing, or one of the biggest things that could derail a team like Tampa is if Antonio Brown starts getting into trouble. Now, I'm not going to call this trouble. This is normal camp activity. Can't stress that enough. But obviously, you want to keep Antonio Brown's head in the game. You don't want to see him lose his cool too much. He knows he's on thin ice, and so you certainly have to keep that in mind. But we know how things get in camp. There's a lot of pushing, there's a lot of shoving, and there's punches that's being thrown. And here we got a punch that connect. But there you have it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, as more news continues to unfold, you can be sure to find it here. So that's why you're going to want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Best way to stay up to date with football content, NFL content. I'll be streaming some live streams and stuff. And the only way you're going to be notified is if you are subscribed. So make sure that you are subscribed and then you turn your notifications on so that way you are notified whenever things are transpiring. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it and the support, and see you guys next video.